Welcome to the programme. The Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has vowed revenge for the killing of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. Hamas said Haniyeh was killed in an Israeli airstrike early this morning, hours after he attended the inauguration of Iran's new president. The United States has said it was not aware nor involved in the assassination. Our first report by Delano de Souza.
Amidst the rubble in Gaza sits a portrait of Ismail Haniyeh. Residents in the enclave plunged into grief after the Hamas chief's killing was announced.
Israel crossed red lines not only today, but from 1948. Every month and every day there have been assassinations. The unjust world supports the state of Israel.
This news is scary. We feel that he was like a father to us. It was like he raised us. We owe him greatly.
While residents in Gaza digest the latest killing, over in the West Bank, a general strike was declared. With shops shuttered, worried residents contemplate what comes next.
The news was shocking for all Palestinian people at home and abroad. It was a cowardly assassination and another crime to add to the occupation's record.
There will be a response to the assassination. I expect there to be a strong response and also one coming from Lebanon.
News of Ismail Haniyeh's targeting in Iran has also been reverberating across Israel, and the reaction out on the streets is mixed.
You don't want to be too excited because we're still in a very intense war on two borders. And I think we're smart enough to know that this could lead to something a lot bigger.
It bothers me that for 9 months now there's no certainty and no sense of stability.
Ismail Haniyeh's killing is just the latest development in the war between Israel and Hamas, which will soon enter its 10th month. His assassination is likely to throw the ceasefire talks up in the air as Israeli hostages remain in Gaza.
Well, I'm pleased now to welcome to the programme Tara Kangarlou, who's a journalist and the author of The Heartbeat of Iran. Good to talk to you today. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you, Nadia.
Give us your analysis, first of all, on the timing and the location of this strike, the killing of Haniyeh in the heart of the Iranian capital.
Absolutely. As your viewers saw in your report, this came a day after the inauguration of the newly elected Iranian president, Masoud Pezeshkian, who really in his agenda wanted to start by focusing on domestic issues. But of course, with what happened, the focus will be shifted to foreign affairs. And this was in the heart of Iran, in the heart of the capital, in a compound dedicated to veterans. And it was done with such precision that it most certainly was calculated to the last millimeter. And it was a shock. It's interesting because I was actually moments ago speaking with a journalist in Iran in one of the dailies, and she told me that, Tara, there's a strange sense of calm. As you know, people are surprised, but there's not a sense of panic that she told me makes her and others in Iran wonder if this was previously coordinated or there has been some form of arrangement. But again, that is just speculation. What we are hearing from Iranian officials is that there will be a harsh revenge, and that also comes from Iranian supreme leader, who, based on what we know, will attend Ismail Haniyeh's funeral tomorrow and will pray over his body. So the Iranian government officials have vowed a strong and harsh revenge on Israel.
Well, as you say, Ali Khamenei warning Israel, in effect, to brace now for what is to come. What is your sense as to what form an Iranian response might now take?
Nadia, let's take a step back. Since the start of the war, there have been many moments where we have been standing by for what we thought will be a full-blown war, right? And an example of that is what we saw in April after the Israeli attack on the Iranian consulate in Syria and Damascus, in the suburbs of Damascus, and which led to the Iranian government and essentially Iranian regime, along with its proxies, firing over hundreds of missiles into Israel, right? Then we learned that, okay, that was communicated and coordinated, and there were no civilian casualties in Israel. Now, what we're hearing, what I'm hearing, and what many project is that this retaliation would be harsher. But again, Iran and the Iranian government, as well as Hezbollah, have said since in the last 10 months that they don't want an all-out war. And based on what we've seen and what we're hearing is that it is the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu who really will benefit from the longevity of this regional conflict, the rather longevity of the war in Gaza and its escalation into a regional conflict. So everyone's waiting to see how this harsh retaliation would look like, but there will most certainly be one. Because again, don't forget, this was in the Iranian soil.
You mentioned the Gaza war. Of course, that's at the heart of this story. What impact do you think the killing of Haniyeh will have on efforts to negotiate an end to the Gaza war, given that Haniyeh himself was seen as a key negotiator for Hamas?
Absolutely. And, the sentiment on the ground is, how can you have negotiation? How can there be a possibility of ceasefire where you have killed the principal chief in the ceasefire negotiation? And again, earlier, I was speaking with folks in Gaza. I'm in touch with them through my charity organization, Art of Hope. And many of them were focused precisely on this, that when will there be an end to the killing? When would be an end to this violence? And Nadia, if I may just say, back to Lebanon and Iran, the people of these countries want none of this. Again, speaking with Iranians in Iran and also Lebanese people, I spent many years in Lebanon. No one there, none of the civilians want an all-out war. But back to the state of the current war in Gaza, of course, the talks of ceasefire will come to a halt. However, Anthony Blinken, hours ago, I believe, he's in Asia right now, he said that the focus should be on ceasefire talks. And the deputy commander of Hamas in Tehran just an hour ago also said that we should focus on ceasefire. That's what the people in Gaza want. But again, when you've taken out the principal chief negotiator of the ceasefire, that makes it complicated.
Tara Kangarlou, great to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Thanks much.